Hey there! Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're exploring a pretty incredible story about the future of our world, the everyday choices we make, and, well, what might just be the ultimate timeout. We're looking at a totally fascinating description of the Earth's final chapter, and we're going to break the whole shebang down so it makes perfect sense.
So, just imagine this for a second. Think about all the noise in your life right now. Cars zooming by outside, TVs blasting, people shouting, planes flying overhead. Now imagine all the noise of the entire planet just stopping. Complete, utter silence. According to the text we're exploring today, we're going to see exactly how and why that happens and what it actually means for all of us.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. According to the text, when the Earth reaches its final moments, people who spent their whole lives only caring about stuff, like, collecting tons of money, buying the flashiest toys, or building giant mansions, they suddenly realize they made a huge mistake. All those earthly treasures just destroyed and swept away in a flash. But heavenly treasures, things like love, kindness, and choosing to be friends with God, those are the things kept perfectly safe. They literally last forever.
Section 1. Earth's Final Moments. When the Noise Stops. The source uses some pretty intense imagery here, saying God is a devouring fire to those who break the rules, but to his people he is a safe pavilion. Now, what exactly is a pavilion? Basically, think of it as the ultimate super strong, cozy tent or hiding place. The big takeaway is that even when the world gets incredibly scary and chaotic for those making bad choices, God is a completely safe, unbreakable hiding place for those who love him.
Section 2. A quiet, empty wilderness. The earth takes a rest.
Look at these descriptions straight from the text. The earth becomes totally empty and silent. It looks exactly like a desperately messy room after a giant, wild storm has just blown through. Cities are in absolute ruins, massive trees are pulled right out of the dirt, and huge, ragged rocks are scattered everywhere. And the craziest part? There are absolutely no people left anywhere on the planet, just total, eerie silence.
And this actually perfectly explains a term that confuses a lot of people, the bottomless pit. When you hear bottomless pit, you probably imagine some scary, spooky black hole in the ground, right? But the text explains it simply means the earth itself has become dark, quiet, and completely empty. It's without form and void, basically returning to exactly how it looked at the very beginning, before God even created life on it. It's just a dark, quiet, empty rock. This timeline helps us map out the order of these massive events so you can see exactly when this incredible period of quiet kicks off. First, Christ returns. Second, on that exact same day, the earth is emptied out and becomes that dark wilderness we just talked about. Third, we enter the Great Timeout, which lasts for an entire 1,000 years. And finally, at year 1,000 comes the final judgment.
Section 3. Satan's 1,000-year timeout. Time to think about what he's done.
1,000 years. Think about how long a 10-minute timeout feels when you've done something wrong. Now imagine being grounded for 1,000 years, left entirely alone on a ruined, pitch-black planet to just sit there and think about your bad choices.
During this time, Satan is completely trapped on this desolate earth. And here's the catch. He has absolutely no one left to trick, tempt, or bother. All the good people are perfectly safe in heaven, and everyone else is gone. You can kind of picture Satan just pacing the empty, ruined world, wandering through broken-down cities, forced to look at the massive mess his rebellion created. He's totally cut off and literally can't escape this dark prison.
So his busy, nonstop life of causing trouble is officially over. The text tells us that for 1,000 years, he wanders to and fro just to behold, or, look at, the results of his rebellion. He is grounded, big time. He has to sit in the giant mess he made and really think about all the sadness and trouble he caused.
Section 4. Safe in heaven with God. The reward for choosing right.
Now, while Satan is having his miserable, lonely time out down on the ruined earth, it is a completely different picture up in heaven. Far away from the messy, dark earth, those who made the right choice are completely safe and happy. The text describes them as being in the city of God, filled with gladness, rejoicing, and eternal rest. There is no fear, no storms, and absolutely no bullies or bad influences to ever worry about again.
And get this, they aren't just sitting around on clouds doing nothing. During those 1,000 years, the text says God's people get to act like kings and priests. They actually get to review the record books of history with Jesus. If they ever had questions about why certain things happened back on earth, they get to see the answers for themselves. They look over all the records and learn, without a shadow of a doubt, just how loving, kind, and totally fair God has always been in every single decision.
Section 5. Choosing what really matters. How this changes our choices today.
It's super fascinating how this epic story applies to the choices you make every single day. Learning about the end of the world isn't meant to be scary. It's actually meant to help us figure out what's important right now. The source text gives us this beautiful promise. God will give you rest from your sorrow and from your trouble. This shows us that choosing to follow God gives us the ultimate safety and peace. No matter what happens to all the cool stuff in the world, toys that break, money that gets lost, buildings that fall down, God's love and protection are a safe pavilion that never ever goes away.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to ask yourself a pretty big question. What do you value most? Are you spending all your time and energy chasing toys, gadgets, and riches that will eventually just fade away and be swept up in the storm? Or are you choosing kindness, love, and the eternal, safe pavilion of God's love? Think about it, because in the end, that is the only choice that truly lasts forever. What's your choice going to be?